guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the Bradford Say, where, I must say, if you haven't watched the last episode, watch it now, because the answer's on the screen, the spoilers are there, do not look at it, watch that one now, link will be in the description, or just go back to my page and go on the playlist, you know how to get there, probably. But yes, since last episode's 1, 2, last chance, disappointment against West Brom, West Ham. West Brom was not a disappointment, you can see that on there too. But West Ham first. After the penalty loss against West Ham in the FA Cup semi-final, we have played 4 games. We've kind of had patchy form for the last 3 months, and it's pretty much been the same here. 1 loss, 2 wins and a draw. One interesting thing is, I noticed before I clicked record on this is, of course, the semi-final was televised, as was the quarter-final against Huddersfield. Entertaining games for the viewers there. Not so much for the third round, which we also were televised for. The 0-0 against Fulham, which of course was 4-3 in the replay. So whoever organised that one to be on television probably got sacked. Sad for them. However, sad for us was the almost actually relief for me that I didn't actually stick this on to the FA Cup semi-final episode last time round was 3-1 loss to Nottingham Forest. Very disappointing first half. You could sort of see the problem here with 6.2 on our goalkeeper. You know things haven't gone well there when it's 6.2 on your goalkeeper. First half hat-trick for Graben, consolation in the second half for us. West Brom, however, was a much better affair from us. 2 goals in the first half hour, pegged back almost immediately to 2-1, and then we saw it out from there, thankfully. West Brom second at that point. Of course, that was a very big, important game here. All of these, quite a lot of these teams that we've played recently are in the playoff hunt. Bristol City were, beat them, thankfully. Leeds were, lost to them. Nottingham Forest are, lost to them. West Brom, beat them. And the last game today is, of course, one in that pack as well. But Sheffield United, a team that I've dropped out of that sort of race recently, unfortunately, for them. But that was an entertaining 2-2 draw. This, of course, was actually a game in hand we had due to those FA Cup games. Sheffield United were originally immediately after Leeds in the schedule, as they were earlier in the season because of the way the schedule worked. If you remember earlier on the season, I was able to bring you the Leeds and Sheffield United together as a pair, but this happened instead. But 2-2 against Sheffield United. We went up twice and were equalised against twice, unfortunately. Second of which, 90th minute. Disappointing, but it's still a point on the board that we didn't have before because there was a game in hand we had, and that was very important because pretty much every team, the 4 teams directly below us after getting this point, were all on 72 points. We were on 72 points before this game as well. There was 5 teams on the 72 points, but 1 point puts us on 73. With the next, and then as of the next match week against Preston, 3 more points on the board. Tex and Adrian Ruiz scoring 2 goals away from home. Very good outing for Tex. I believe he actually assisted the second goal, which is why he's on 9. But yeah, very good outing for the majority of our team there. And a 2-0 win away from home. And a first clean sheet in what seems like forever. Most importantly as well for Emilio Martinez, who frankly hasn't been that amazing despite being listed as one of the 2 best players in our squad. That situation has already been resolved for next season, but of course that transfer business will be in the next episode, depending on, no matter what happens. Well, I say next episode, depends on what next episode is likely going to be playoffs. Fingers crossed. But yes, all transfer business will be dealt with at the start of next season. So, the championship situation. We are on 76 points, as you may have just worked out there. 76 points for Bradford in 4th. Now, you might remember me last time around saying West Brom in 2nd, 5 points clear of Leeds. Very unlikely that they're going to slip up here and concede that 2nd position. They slipped up and conceded that 2nd position quite badly. They lost 3 games in a row. Now, you may remember we were one of those games, and that sort of set them off for the next 2. They lost to us, and they lost the next 2, one of which was to Leeds. So they, from what was 5 points clear of Leeds, is now 4 points behind Leeds, with only 1 game left for each of those, which means they cannot get back to 2nd, and Leeds are being guaranteed promotion. Now, that's technically good news for us, because no matter what happens now for the rest of the season, we will have a West Yorkshire derby next season. Because if we get promoted with Leeds, we've still got Leeds. If we stay in the Championship, Huddersfield have already been confirmed to be relegated from the Premier League this season. Took on 2 more years, but they have been relegated. So we will have Huddersfield in the Championship next season. So no matter what happens, there is still a West Yorkshire derby for us next season. However, What was also good news for us was last match week, every other team that were on 70, every other team that were next to us, pretty much in the chasing pack for the playoffs, slipped up, except for Aston Villa, who thankfully were the only team that weren't on 72 points going into last game week. They were on 71, so they've moved to 74. That was the best case scenario really for everything that happened last game week. Middlesbrough lost to Aston Villa. They played each other. Nottingham Forest lost to Cardiff, and Bristol City drew away to Wigan, so they only picked up 1 point, which does mean we, with 76 points, are 4 points clear of those two teams on 72 points in 7th and 8th, which of course just means we need to basically match them on this week, and we are guaranteed to be in the playoffs next, after the next game. All we need to do is pick up 2 points in total from these last 2 games, and I think we are pretty much guaranteed to be in the playoffs. 14 goal difference is a little bit too close to my liking if this does all go wrong, but all we need to do is get 2 points realistically. 1 win from the last 2 games guarantees us either way, just numerically, but 2 draws might be enough depending on how big Middlesbrough win the last 2 games, if they do indeed win the last 2 games. Now, of course, we do also play Aston Villa in this situation, but they are probably close enough to us for that not really to be a factor in terms of whether or not one of us will go in and one will not. If that happens to be the final case in the final game of the season, that's going to be incredible. But the lineup first for Sunderland, who of course are stone dead last at this point, and I think almost confirmed relegated. They're 6 points behind 21st with 4 worse goal difference. But so if we beat them here, that confirms Sunderland's relegation and our playoff bid. Now, we are odds-on favourites here. We have never lost to Sunderland, apparently, and their form is woeful to our inconsistent, which I feel like we've been for about 3 months. Of course, this is the team that we sold Joe Riley to last January. They also have Rui Saramago on loan. I completely forgot about that. So 2 players we've sold in the January transfer periods are playing for them right now. And I bet both of them are regretting leaving us now. So how we line up against Sunderland then is as follows. Manny on the left, Garcia, Grippo, Lam, Martinez in goal, Ferreira, Macacron, Dominguez, Lopez and Tex on the wings with Ruiz up front. Manny is on the left just because last couple of games I've been sort of advised not to play Lewis Gibson because he just needs a bit of a rest. So I figured bottom of the table Sunderland, let's keep him on the bench for the last game. Very important game against Aston Villa, potentially here. Hopefully that won't be regretted. Manny did not have a very good performance the first match he played. He was actually on a flat 6 rating on that one. I did have to take him off at half time because he was playing so badly. But he has had slightly better performances in the last 2 games, so have a little bit more faith in him now. You can also see there from the goals list, Adrian Ruiz is on 26 goals for the season now. Tex is on double digits as well now, so I think that's the first time we've had that, actually. I think it's the first time we've had 2 players in double digits. First time we've had a midfielder in double digits, that's for certain. Along with a key striker in Adrian Ruiz, 26 goals. I keep saying it every time, but what a signing he has been. Probably the best signing, one of the best signings I've ever made in Football Manager, full stop. 550k for that kind of output. Incredible. Tex is definitely coming to form now. And Braze Lopez, it's worth mentioning Braze Lopez. 8 goals now. He has developed incredibly this season. Sort of gone under the radar a little bit, Braze Lopez. And I was going to mention last time, but I forgot. 7.35 on average rating as well. Best one we have, I think. And of course, as soon as I clicked go there, my brain went, praise for Braze. And I felt really bad for thinking that, because that is just awful. There's the lineups, identical formations. There's Saramago. And there's Riley. Hi guys! If we win here, secure a playoffs place. Correct. Doesn't often work, that. Don't often go passion at home. I normally go more assertive, but there's a lot to play for here. And of course, Sunderland are a team that came up from the League One last season. A team that we started with 2 seasons ago. And a team that, personally, I have minor rivalries with because I'm a Newcastle supporter. And that's 1-0 after 80 seconds. That is how we start that. And excellent. No, I thought it was Juan Dominguez because he's been highlighted. It's George McCachran who scored that. Assist by Dominguez. Not sure why he was highlighted. in the celebrations there. And first time, whomp. Good goal from McCachran. 3 shots already. 68% of the possession. I think this is going all right, but I don't want to jinx it so far too much. 3 yellow cards for them already. The only defender not to be booked for them so far is Riley. Maybe a little bit of admiration and love for the team still there. Norwich beating Aston Villa, which is a big deal. Of course, a rival in the playoff positions. That's a little bit of ping ball. I don't like how this is going because we always lose ping ball. Ping ball, I think I said there in the end. And that's actually 2-0 for Norwich against Aston Villa. Yeah, probably ought to be having keep an eye on those other games. Of course, the way depending on how they end up is in. Okay, Middlesbrough are winning, so that's not great. But Nottingham Forest are losing. The other one to pay attention to is, of course, Bristol City, who are drawing against Sheffield currently. So not quite confirmed. Oh, of course, we're winning anyway, so that confirms us regardless. But 10 shots to 3, 5 on target to 0, 69% of the possession. Yeah, it's not going too badly, is it really? Oh, it's 3-0. That's... Aston Villa have one of the best goal differences in this division, and they're going down 3-0 at this point. Assertive. Don't get complacent out there. Focus. Great, that's what I like. Get out. Continue with your way. It's kind of actually highlightless that first half in the end. I just sort of talked about other teams. I just realised Chad Lamb's been booked, didn't pay attention to that. Nottingham Forest are now 2-0 down, so that's good news for us, regardless of how this goes. Oh, and Bristol City have just gone down as well, so I think, regardless of our result right now, we might have been guaranteed regardless. Lopez gets that pitch, not really pay attention. Sarabago's got off. Evans not putting in a good performance. He did that for a lot. Whenever he started, he didn't really have a good... I so thought Ruiz was on that for a second there. He just clearly didn't react well enough. But that has gone back with Tex. And he should be able to swing it out to the left-hand side where Manny is waiting in plenty of space. He will run it out of the defence and maybe get to Lopez. Yes, indeed he does. And that is pinched. Good tackle. Curious. That didn't get anywhere near the goal for it to be worth a highlight. So what is going to happen here with this corner? Garcia will probably get that back out to Tex to swing that in one more time. No, he won't swing it in because Ferreira's going to take it and Dominguez will now pick up and... Will it go back to the left or out to the right? McCachran on the right. I'm not sure what he's doing out there. Ferreira. This is just going around their box. What is happening with this highlight? We're just having a training exercise around their box right now. What was that highlight? I'm so confused by that highlight. Literally nothing important happened in it for about a solid minute. That's a penalty though, I think. Yes, it is. As a push on Sal by Lopez. What part of focus did you not understand? But you can see that right now, Bristol City's still on 73 points. Even if this ends up a draw, we are guaranteed to be playoffs. As things stand. But I just realised time has ticked away quite massively here, and I do still need to make a few changes. So I will. A couple of players looking a little bit tired at this stage, the players that usually always are. So Rossiter on for Ferreira. McCachran is actually looking a little bit. Of course, he scored the goal, but we do have a replacement in Much. I think I might just leave it at 2 for now. And just see out another... In fact, of course, we are having this, so let's have it a little bit more positive for the last 10 minutes. And let's not risk... I'm not sure what's happened in the last 4 minutes for Adrian Ruiz to go from a 6.5 to a 6.8. But I think I just won't risk Lamb for the last game and bring on Medina because we have right back swap. Easy to do. 4 minutes, positive. Are we going to get anything out of this? Oh, there's a highlight 80 seconds from time. Bristol City have equalised by the looks of things. So if we could get a winner here, that would be disallowed. But we are still 3 points clear of 7th. Bear in mind, we are playing Aston Villa in that last game. Oh, that's tight. That's... I mean, considering how that went in, that's a little rude. Now, still 40 seconds of this game to go. If we can get it up into their box, that would be great, but it doesn't look like it's going to be. Let's hound them. At home against the side ranked bottom. Now, what is happening to us right now? Oh, just nip that. They're going to go shot off here, and it's miles wide, and it's going to go out for a goal kick, and this is going to be the end of the game. So, if we can get a point against Aston Villa here, that absolutely 100%. It's probably going to be a Jekyll and Hyde. Not giving me that option. Why are they not giving me the Jekyll and Hyde option? I'm disappointed. I'm just going to go with straight disappointed. I was very happy in the first half. But that being said, Rui's fitness concern now. I mean, there's only 2 games, and I don't really want to rest him against the last game of the season. So let's just have a quick look at the goal difference situation here. We're on plus 19, they're on plus 17, which is only 2 behind and is not really that comfortable. Probably is also just double checking one other thing, and that's who Middlesbrough play, and that's Cardiff, actually. So we need to, for us to drop out of the playoffs, Aston Villa need to beat us, Middlesbrough need to get something out of that game, and Bristol City need to beat Preston. So all 3 of those need to happen for us to not get the playoffs right now. A draw will be enough to keep us in there, and Middlesbrough would need a win to get past us, so Middlesbrough would need to beat Cardiff. Of course, have nothing to play for, but didn't have anything to play for against Nottingham Forest either, and they still beat them, which kind of has denied them almost entirely. Nottingham Forest can still get there if Bristol City and Aston Villa lose. Still lots of permutations to go here. Sunderland, of course, confirmed relegated now. And 2 from these 3. And welcome back for the final match day of this season. Official match day, at least. Fingers crossed, playoffs to come. And Gibson has returned to the first 11, which has caused a slight bit of issue with the loan players because Casti's started been playing well as well. So, midfield-wise, we've taken an injury to Juan Dominguez, so that we're starting with Ferreira, McCacken and Much in the middle. But it does mean that Jim O'Brien makes an appearance on the bench. However, and the back line is as follows. Gibson, Garcia, Grippo, Lamb with Martinez in goal, keeping faith for now. But I really want to risk Cameron Spencer. It's Lopez and Tex on the wings, Ruiz up front. So that's not changed. We've taken an injury to Medina as well, so that means Manny's on the bench rather than Medina. Cover for left back. Of course, Gibson does get quite tired for the most part as well. So maybe best to have official backup there rather than just relying on Staunton, who can play there. We will have to rely on Anthony O'Connor as right back because we don't have any other options in the squad. So yeah, we do have a youth prospect, but he's not really quite just there yet. So Anthony O'Connor's going to have to do for that. Just do for that for now. So here we go. Point will do us. Points all we need. One thing worth mentioning, actually, is Preston, who Bristol City play, are in 22nd and need a win to guarantee survival. So they will be up for it. Preston, of course, in real life are a team that I say never bet on a game involving Preston because you'll always go the opposite way the way you wanted to. Unsupported team talk comment. I have a feeling that's a glitch. Huh, okay then. Game, don't break on me. Don't break on me now. Aston Villa lost 3 of the last 5 games. Passionate. This is a big match for us and even bigger for the supporters, so give them... Oh, never mind. Passion away from home, maybe. I kind of did passion last time, so I think it's slightly wearing thin, but it's sort of worked for the most part. Let's get out there. Aston Villa at home. They have Cahill, incidentally. They have Cahill in their back line. A transfer rumour that is circulating for this transfer window. In fact, so Cahill obviously reuniting with John Terry, potentially, at Aston Villa this upcoming season. But we are on the ball here in 7 minutes of this game gone. Ferreira. McCacken, I do try and make them play a high-tempo game, which hopefully will keep the 35-year-old Cahill in this season running ragged, hopefully. But Ruiz on that. Lopez has just skirted through that defence. It wasn't Cahill he lost sight of, but Lopez has scored. 8 minutes gone, 1-0 Bradford. Number 2, their right back has not covered himself in glory there, letting Lopez just run past him. Look how far away from him he was when he started that run, and just got miles ahead of him and slotted past their goalkeeper in the far right corner. Excellent start. Just what we needed. Lopez on the corner here, swinging that in. Highlight started with a... Oh, it's a penalty. It's a penalty. Oh, okay then. Ferreira will take this. He is our dedicated penalty taker. 14, of course, penalty taking skill he has. So, and he makes that 2. 14 minutes gone. 2-0. What has happened to Aston... As things stand, Aston Villa slip out of the playoffs entirely. But Ferreira slotting their pass on the left-hand side of the goalie. He's been beaten on both sides. And another highlight for seemingly us at this stage. Of course, anything can happen with his highlights. Much picks that up in the middle. We'll be able to get that out to Lamb on the far right. Kind of gets hounded and it will go back to Ferreira, however. And he will give it back to Lamb once again, being pushed even further to the edges of the confines of the pitch. Tex will get that, and that has gone for a foul? No, advantage has been played. Ruiz just inches wide. Wonder if he will get called up for that foul. No, not at all. Cahill is overwhelmed. Bit odd for a very experienced player like Cahill to be overwhelmed in a match like this. Gibson on the ball here on the throw-in. Ferreira sends it to Much, who has enough space to make that 3-0. Bentley is lacking match fitness in goal there. What is going on with their goalkeeper situation? They must have taken injury knock to their first choice there, because he has very little match fitness right now, their goalie, and it is sort of showing. If we're honest, he's not actually 100% normal match fit either, just fitness-wise. 88%, you don't really see goalies with less than 90% fitness. That is very odd. Condition, sorry. Always get them mixed up, condition and match fitness. 41 minutes gone. And are we about to make this 4-0? No, that's pinged off and it has gone back to Locardi, who himself is lacking match fitness. Grippo. Lamb. Ferreira. Much. Ruiz. And 4-0. Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. A point was all we needed. And 3 points we've got, thanks to, well, that 27th goal of the season for Ruiz. He is just outside the top 3 in top score. Their right back is having an absolute shocker. Well, I mean, this couldn't have really gone much better. I want to say don't get complacent, but go for the pundits one, because I don't want to say complacent, but I don't want to say, yeah, well done, because that makes them switch off. So, second half, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been brought on. Romero has been injured, however, but is persevering. No, he's been taken off now. And his replacement has been injured. Well, that's gone well for them. Grippo, 5-0. Well, trademark goal, free kick from Grippo, that. Preston are beating Bristol City. Good to know. We are in the playoffs regardless. But severely denting Aston Villa's goal difference. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Bristol City have equalised 2-2. I feel like that's happened very quickly. Made some swaps. I mean, look at that. Green-wise. Anyway, I'm just going to preserve fitness, really, at this point. No real reason to do anything else. Might as well just bring on Rossiter here. Might as well just bring on Jim O'Brien here. Of course, Jim O'Brien slightly declining at this stage, getting on a bit, and wasn't the best stat-wise to start with, despite his performances. We'll just do those two for now. Might as well preserve 2 of our better players for the inevitable playoffs now. Oh, Texas has taken a knock, so let's bring him off. Don't think Dalcio is on the bench. Jim O'Brien can actually play there. Oh, I love that. Just switch up the system, I think. It's 5-0 and 5 minutes to go. I'm not really sure that's going to make a massive difference. Nearly 6. Cardiff are beating Middlesbrough, so they've just scored. 70% of possession away from home. We do play... Oh, Preston are taking the lead as well. Frankly, this result didn't matter. But what a way for it not to matter. Cassidy, though, on the edge of the box. Gibson. This is probably the end of the game highlight. There's only 2 minutes added. But, yeah, there we are. Not a match Aston Villa will look back on pride. Yeah. A thoroughly professional job. Well done. Yes. Well done indeed. So, playoffs it is. Although, despite losing 5-0, Aston Villa just squeaked through because Bristol City conceded in the 90 plus first minute. I don't know why I said that. 91st. It's a word. Which was a win they absolutely needed. Actually, no, it wasn't absolutely needed. They had better goal difference than Bolton. Well, that's even more gutting for them, really. What happened with Nottingham Forest? Because they could have done it 2-2. They conceded it in the 78th minute. Because they could have gone... Yeah, they could have gone 6th as well if they'd won. It was almost like no one wanted to get into the playoffs. Middlesbrough lost. Obviously, we beat Aston Villa, so that wasn't going to be a loss either way for one of us. 100 points for Cardiff, so that's what they were playing for with that beating there. But yeah, we were the only team to win out of all of those 5 teams. So yeah, Middlesbrough in the playoffs. I think that's how that works. 2 legs against Middlesbrough, team that we started the season against and have very mixed fortunes against. So, well, first round of that I believe is 2 legs, so I'll bring you that next time around. And then, of course, if we proceed with that, there'll be another video after that. Might do it as a double upload, but we'll see how that goes. Says unknown at this stage, but of course it will be Middlesbrough, fairly certain of that. But until next time, thank you guys for watching. Ta-ra.